And my absolute favorite question that I absolutely love to ask is, do you think that or do you know that? I had a client who came to me wanting a franchise, and you would think, oh, done, but my first response was, Greg, I'm not a broker. You might want to, work with a broker. And he said, and that caused him to say, well, what do you mean? What do you do? I said, I'm going to work with you to figure out, which pathway is best for you. Maybe it is a franchise, but why look at just one option in your search? Why narrow it so narrow? And he said, because there's no jobs out there. And so I said, do you think that or do you know that? And he said, well, I've not found one yet. And this was before COVID. And he said, I've not found one yet. And I said, well, that might be true, but do you really think there's no jobs out there? And I said, working with me, we're going to figure it out. That's all I can tell you. And maybe franchise is your best bet, but we're going to figure it out. He said, okay, yep, I'll work with you, but I'm going to buy a franchise. I said, okay, well, if you do discovery and you come to that clarification, we'll do it. So fast forward, he absolutely looked at franchise, saw one he loved, but we continued his job search and discussion there too. What he really figured out is he was not ready to own a business. And it scared him that he almost went that direction. But it also assisted him on his job search, and he landed a wonderful job that he thought wasn't out there. And so he was so pumped with discovery, not with me, with discovery, that he said, wow, he left me a recommendation on LinkedIn. He sent me a recommendation to work with somebody else. And he was just so pumped at the whole discovery process. Sabrina came to me. She said, Darren, I got to have a job. She did lose her job because of COVID. She said, I got to have a job. And I said, okay, great. I said, well, I'm not a recruiter either, but let me ask you, why just that one option? I don't get that. Why one? If I want to find a new step in life, why am I only looking at one thing? And so she said, well, if I own a business, you sell hot dogs, they fail and they cost $1 million. I got to ask my question. Do you think that or do you know that? And she said, well, I said, here's the thing. You can work with a recruiter if that's the only option that you want to leave up for yourself. I said, or I'm going to help you figure out you. And then I'm going to help you figure out what direction is best for you should you want to work with me. And it's up to you. And she said, well, I'll work with you, but I already know the end of the story. It's going to be a job. I will never, Darren, I'm telling you, I will never buy a franchise and I will never own a business. I don't want to waste your time. And I said, as long as you are open to discovery and education and awareness, you will never waste my time. If you are not open to do that, no problem. We won't. It's yes to discovery, no to discovery. She says, well, I don't want to own a business. And I said, well, I didn't ask you if you want to own a business. That wasn't my question. It's yes discovery or no discovery. And so fast forward, she now owns her own franchise in Florida and she is killing it. And she loves what she does because that's what discovery does. It's a mindset changer. Now fast forward to TES most recent business owner, franchise business owner, Deb. Deb was on like Sabrina. So Deb said, Darren, I'm not going to buy a business. So I love saying, wait, did I ask you if you want to buy a business? I love saying that because they just come thinking I'm selling. And I said, I didn't ask you if you want to buy a business. I asked you, do you want to do discovery? Do you want to be educated? Do you want awareness? Do you want to look at more than one? You're talking about your career. Why do you think you changed jobs so many times? Because you look at one option. So why not open it up and look at all and figure it out? And then you don't have to look over your shoulder. You go with complete confidence, whichever direction you go. So she said, all right, I'll work with you, but I'm not going to own a business. I said, okay, great. So we talked about her job search. We talked about her interviews. We talked about the businesses she's looking at, but she continued her job search, which we talked about every phone call. Then it got deeper and she says, Darren, it's a job of my dreams. And then she got a job offer. She said, Darren, what do I do? I said, I can't answer that. She said, Darren, you got to help me. You're my coach. Not for that. I'm not. So I said, this is your story. This is what we talked about at the beginning. She said, this is my dream job, Darren. I said, well, congratulations. She said, okay, if I take this job, can I still look at TES and kitchen tune-up? I said, of course you can. Yeah, I've got lots of people who have jobs that are looking at business models. There's no prerequisite there. Now she's in training today, and she's going to be an awesome coach, and she's going to bring a lot of value to a lot of people. Discovery doesn't fail anybody. Discovery gets to the answer and makes it clear. Discovery allows, that word allow, discovery allows your wife to disagree with you. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe she needs to see that I'm not crazy. I don't know. Discovery does that. The only thing that hinders somebody from progressing and getting better tomorrow than they are today is when they refuse to do discovery. That's it. It's not their talent. It's not their abilities. It's not who they're related to. When they refuse to look to see, is there any other options available? Then they're going to stay along that same track. And they don't, then they wonder, why isn't it progressed? Why is it? Because you won't look. You think you know what you think that you think, and you just might be wrong. And if you're right, don't you want to validate it? Awesome. Then we celebrate that, So I got off on a roll. I apologize, but that's discovery. And that's why that's the greatest thing that we do, is we allow our clients, our seekers, to look. That's all I do. Unless a person changes their mindset, they're gonna go that direction. And I can use my sales background. I could get a ton of people to validation just because I know how to talk people into it. And they're gonna drop out unless their mindset changes to where they're open and they want to do discovery. They want education. They want awareness. That's what they're saying yes or no to. But they think in their filter that they're saying yes or no to owning a business. I repeatedly say, when did I ask you if you want to own a business? In my initial phone call, we get to that point because that's one of the possibilities. And they'll even admit, you never did ask me that, did you? And I said, no, all I'm asking you is if you're ready to do some education and awareness and discovery and figure out what your goals are for your next career, which direction you're going to go. You don't even know. And so that's what we do, and guaranteed, and I do make this guarantee, if you do discovery with an open mind, you will be clear. And I can guarantee that because it's nothing that I'm going to do or say. If it was based on what I do or say, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not telling you you're going to reach any point. But if you do discovery with an open mind, and you don't make any decisions until you come to clarity, you will get great value. That I can guarantee. Now I say to my clients or my seekers, it's up to whether you want to do it or not. And that I'll never overcome. Because if you don't want to do discovery, I'm good. Okay. Then you don't want to. The worst thing for you to do is say you do, and then you don't do discovery. Or you go in with a closed mind, or you go in not even willing to change your thought process, or you go in already having a predetermined view of what's going to happen. That's the worst thing. That is a waste of time for you, but it's yes to discovery or no to discovery. That's what we do. I can still bring value to a person's life. It's not based on a budget. It's not based on a company's culture. It's not based on whether they think it's a waste of time. I can bring value regardless of title, person, gender, and there's no prerequisite. I can bring value. And that's why if there is a no-show or whatever, okay, I can still bring value because I have another call coming up. And that feeds the next one. It feeds, when you bring in value, it just feeds, you feel like you have a purpose. And it's not even based on me. It's based on opening doors so that they can start asking questions. And when the value is adhered to, you all get to celebrate.